Hi, this is Rebecca Heath, and this is your welcome video to Foundations of Nursing Lab 1. This lab is very closely connected to Foundations of Nursing class or the lecture. So if you haven't looked at this class and watched the welcome video, please go do that first, then come back and look at this one. So let's get into it. On our home page here, you've got just kind of like usual, you can see week by week modules here. This class is on Fridays in B309, the nursing lab. It is split up into a morning and an afternoon group. So you'll either be coming every week from 8 a.m. to noon, 12 o'clock, or from 12:30 to 4:30. I'm going to randomly assign people into groups. And then if you want to be at a different time slot, then you need to contact another student from either the AM or PM group and ask to switch. I'm not able to coordinate all the switches that people want to do, and so I leave that to the students that you guys do that yourselves. One thing that's really nice to look at is the syllabus, so let's do that. So it is hybrid. You do have some work that you're going to do online. Do, 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 do. We've gone over a lot of it. So the course learning outcomes, please go ahead and read over like what are the course learning outcomes? It's nice to see how they relate to the program learning outcomes and institutional outcomes and such. You do need to have ATI or Assessment Technology Institute resources. You're going to have assignments due the first day of class. So please make sure you get in there, you familiarize yourself. I'll show you where a welcome introduction to ATI is at. Your supplies, you're going to need a laptop, you're going to need a calculator, you're going to need a stethoscope. A lot of students ask me what kind of stethoscope. And so I usually say, don't get a super cheap one because it's, they're more difficult to use. As an experienced nurse with 20 years under my belt, I could use one and do okay. As a new nurse, it's going to be more difficult for you to use a subpar stethoscope. I usually recommend that people put a little bit of work, a little bit of investment into the stethoscope. For between $50 to $75, you can get a pretty good stethoscope that will last you years and help you to hear much better than some of the very entry-level stethoscopes. So if you're able to, please put in a little bit for that because it actually will help you so much in your assessment skills. You need a pen light, make sure you got batteries in so it lights up, a watch with a second hand, and for lab, you're going to need to wear your nursing uniform. First day of lab, you don't have it, that's fine. But we do need to because what we're doing is preparing you for clinicals, right? In clinicals, you have to wear the lab or wear the uniform, excuse me. And in lab, it's kind of we wear those uniforms to kind of practice how we're doing things, and it helps to prepare you for clinicals. So please look at your student handbook, see what the requirements are for the uniform, and just make sure you know you've got to have the same things to wear to lab, which does include hair up, right? Because if you're doing dressing changes or other things, your hair falls over, you're contaminating, and your hair gets gross. All right, week to week. I'll show you a different way of seeing some of this, but it tells you what we're talking about, maybe some of the assignments and things that we have. We are doing a lot of dosage in this class as well. You can see through here. We do have some activities that are going to be in class assignments, and I'll explain those to you. We also have skills checkoffs. The skills checkoffs aren't graded, they're pass fail. To pass it, you have to practice on your own with other students, lots of opportunities for that. And then you will have an instructor observing you one-on-one, and you have to complete that skill safely, not missing any major steps or major safety concerns. If something happens, you don't pass a skills checkoff, then what you'll do is you'll need to go to Open Lab. Now, I don't know exactly when the Open Lab times are going to be, but there'll be a nursing instructor there that can help work with you one-on-one, helping you to practice whatever skill that is that you need a little bit of remediation on. Once the instructor says, hey, you're ready, you've practiced with them a lot, then you're going to go back to class, and during the lab, you will check off with another instructor. If for some reason you are still not able to pass that skill after the second time, then you'll be exited. You won't be able to pass the class. Please don't let that freak you out. We go over a lot with you. If you put in the time, you come to Open Lab, we will get you ready to pass the skills. But it is very important that you know how to do them. Grading. So you're gonna have support worth 5%. Your attendance, hey, it's worth 10% of your grade. Big deal. Final skills evaluation is 10%. In-class activities 10, assignments 25, and skills check off 40. You need to score an 80 or 3.0, just like every nursing program class. A couple things about lab performance. We kind of talked about the check off. Late work, I've explained those in my other videos, so I'm not going to go over that as well. I believe there is a attendance policy. So one thing I want to make sure you know is that you have to be in lab. That's where you're learning the skills, the things you need to know to be able to do assessments, to do procedures, to do these skills that you're going to be practicing in your career, but first of all, in clinicals. So if you have more than 2 absences in the lab, you will be dismissed from the course. You can't miss that much content and still be able to progress in the program. Um, because you won't have the knowledge base needed to keep going on. So please make sure to prioritize coming to lab and also come on time, because if you are late for more than 10 minutes for the start of class, it's very disruptive. You're going to miss the whole intro of what we're doing today. You're going to be playing catch up. If you're late more than 10 minutes for 3 times without notifying the instructor, right? You get a flat tire, call your instructor, let them know. They can excuse that, but 3 times late equals 1 absence. So please make sure you're on time as well. I think the rest of this is just general Bates things. Let's hop over to the Foundations Lab schedule. This is pretty nice because it goes over and says, hey, week 1, what are we talking about? And then it says, hey, what are our new skills that we have? What is a peer checkoff? Meaning we give you guys as students, say, hey, check each other off. Make sure that they're following these steps, they're doing these things correctly. And there's also going to be things that instructors, we check you off. Like the first one is hand hygiene. We're going to teach you how to wash your hands and watch you do it. So you can kind of see week to week what we are doing. Let's get into the modules. The about this course start here. Oh, no, it doesn't have it there. Sorry. Rewind a few seconds. Here's our in-person lab activities. I'll go over those things with you, but it's kind of like, hey, donning and doffing PPE, here's your checklist. Kind of goes over some things to let you know. You don't have to turn those in ahead of time. We're going to be doing those in class together. Um, Weekly resources. That's what I was looking for. Here is, oh, it's not in here. Well, I don't know where it's at. Oh, well. But you might have seen there's a lot of visual aids that can be helpful to you. I've tried to put for most of these assignments in ATI the time amount it's going to take for you to do the assignments. There are going to be some assignments. Let's see if they're on here. Let me find one. So the skills modules are about an hour. ATI says, it could be a little bit more or less, but all the skills are about 1 hour. So know that that's kind of helpful for that. We do not have lab on week 7. It's a holiday, so know that we won't be in lab that day. And the very end of lab, 12/5, we'll actually no lab on 11/28. Again, it's a holiday. And our last lab will be on 12/5, and we'll be practicing getting all the checkoffs that we need. Let's go back to our home screen. I think that's all I really wanted to tell you. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys, meeting you on the first day of school, September 25th. Hopefully you guys are ready, excited, and I can't wait to meet you. All right, take care.